Hey everybody, this is Duke. Just a quick note before the show here. I did have some mic issues this week. The problem has been rectified, so going forward it won't be a thing. But I just wanted to let everybody know that we did the best with what we had in the end, and hopefully it's not too distracting for you. So thanks for listening, and on with the show. Hello, and welcome to episode the second of Out of the Vault. I am Duke, and with us, as always, is the original Mountain Mama herself, Ariel. Ariel, how are you doing again today?
I'm, decent.
Decent. Okay. Well, it sounds like you want to leave it at that. Therefore, we shall. And, of course, the master of merch himself, Daniel. Daniel, how are you going?
Pretty tired, you don't just set your camp up right, and then you forget to sleep for like a day, and
Yeah, you're going on, 28 hours right now?
Well, not 20 hours of sleep, 28 hours of no sleep.
Without sleep, right. So if he starts to say anything weird or drool or whatever it is, that's why. We'll take care of it accordingly. All right, so today we are going to talk about the big one, especially is the communication moving forward post on Reddit from Bethesda. It's something I think a lot of people were waiting for in terms of where are our bug patches and where are our content updates and just what's going on. They finally broke the silence after launch, and it's a lot of good news, I think. Then after that, we're going to talk about some merch. Ariel did some recipes from the cookbook for Thanksgiving, and the pictures I saw online looked pretty amazing, so we'll go over that. Daniel's got a few things to say about the Power Armor Edition, and then I'm going to talk briefly about the game guide from Prima and what that's been like. And that really should get us to the end of the show here. So, quick mention, though, before we start everything off. We are now officially on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube. I am working diligently on our website, which should be up within a couple days of this going live. Hopefully, it's going to be outofthevaultshow.com. All of our social stuff's going to be there. You'll be able to listen to the show there. We'll have a blog set up with some game guides and just social commentary. Basically, anything doesn't make it onto the show, and then contributions from other people from the community as well. So, should be a good time. We will do posts up on our Instagram and our Twitter page when that goes live. So, hooray for all the things.
Hooray for all the things.
Anybody listening has a particular service that you like that we're not on, you can go ahead and reach out to us at outofthevaultshow@gmail.com and just say, hey, you're not on Tweets to Larble or whatever the heck it's called, and let me know. Maybe I can get us up on there too. But
where's your Vine account out of the vault?
Or what account?
Our Vine account.
Vine. Oh gosh, that's back in the day. But between iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, I think we should be pretty well covered for any of the audio stuff. So,
absolutely.
Communications moving forward. It's a nice little another post from Bethesda on Reddit this week. It was about 2 days ago now at the time of recording. And I'm not going to read this verbatim, but I love how they start this off with, "We know you're frustrated and angry at the state of things right now."
I like how they posted that on the Fallout 76 subreddit, the one that actually likes them.
Well, of course.
The one that's not angry and frustrated.
They're not going to go to r/Fallout. I mean, come on now.
They're not suicidal.
No, absolutely not. But I think that's an opinion that even us that love the game, there's definitely some frustration there with some of the goofy bugs and kind of the silence that it's been from Bethesda up until now. So we now know, though, what kind of their update schedule is. They're going to be doing a couple patches, one on the December 4th, one on December 11th, and then going forward, we're going to be looking at, I believe, every other week.
It says they're doing it weekly.
That's exactly what we needed to know. When are we going to get updates and when's it going to come out? So this December 4th patch is, the big headline is the stash limit increase, I think, going from 400 pounds to 600 pounds. I mean, that's something everybody has asked for, I think, as far as quality of life improvement to the game, no doubt.
Absolutely.
The 400 limit was for the server issue, and they had some concerns with server stability, and then going to 600, they think it's conservative. They're going to increase it even further once they verify that the 600 is not negatively impacting the stability. So down the line, we could very easily see 800 or 1,000 too. Everybody that wants to hoard all their stuff will be able to.
Good.
Yes, exactly.
I am definitely a collector, if you want to call it that.
How many pieces of armor and weapons I've had to just drop in front of the vault for somebody to randomly pick up or just scrap because I can't afford that 23 pounds in my inventory. Sorry.
It hurts a lot, especially when you like using missile launchers, and missiles weigh so much, and you can only carry 6 with you, and that does nothing. It does nothing.
See, you got to get the 2-shot. I got a 2-shot mini nuke, so if I have like 3 mini nukes on me, that's more than enough.
Well, I have the quad launcher with the bayonet on the end, and it's got like some weird targeting situation going on, so I can literally just aim once and boom, they go flying back. But it doesn't do enough damage, and I need to carry more missiles, so give me 800 carry or give me death.
Yeah, that's Daniel, didn't you say your carry weight without power armor is something like
It's
325?
around 300 or something, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what
But
I said, wow.
I have like 10 strength, and then I have like strong back and all that.
And you've got all the cards for it. Yeah.
I have 10 strength and all of the strong. What? Okay, you're working on some other perks, and we'll have to talk about that later.
This is a topic of conversation for a later date, but I just got my first set of power armor, and I was like, I can carry 275 pounds of stuff. This is awesome. So, it's completed my excavator armor, and I've been running around in that. It's a good time. But, yeah, topic of conversation for later. 400, 600 pounds, hooray, stash limit increase. They're fixing the boss loot. I didn't really know there was a problem with the boss loot, but apparently bosses weren't dropping the proper amount of loot, so that will be fixed as well.
So, you know how every once in a while you go into a camp and you'll see an enemy with a crown on its head?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to get greater amounts of loot drop from them, but every once in a while you'll kill one and it'll have like a single screw. And that's not how that's supposed to work.
I guess the only times I've had it where I felt really underwhelmed by the loot was when it's like a glowing mole rat or something like that. It's a boss, but it's a mole rat, so it's not going to be that great of stuff. But it's good. More loot. It's good for everybody. As long as it's not terribly statted legendaries, I'm happy with it. And anybody use a cryolator?
No.
I have one. I don't use it. I just carry it because it's extra weight.
I found a Junkie's cryolator and was like, I wish I had a use for this, but I don't. I
haven't seen one. I've found ammunition for one, but anyway, for those that do use one, they're going to be changing the effects for players that are hit with it for PvP. So it'll be chilled, frosted, or frozen, depending on how many times you're hit. So basically working the way they should work. And the movement duration and speed reductions applied will be decreased from 2 hours to 30 seconds.
That was my
nerf.
favorite part.
Yeah, that's a huge nerf. 2 hours.
If I had known that it would let me just freeze somebody for 2 hours, I would have had one.
Yeah, right. It basically just forces them to log off for 2 hours is what it does, because who wants to deal with that?
That's so sad.
What a weird bug, yeah. I think it should have been 30 seconds. Whoops. But no longer, so maybe people actually, I don't know, if they were utilizing that 2 hour thing for PvP, who knows?
I mean, it seems like a good way to make someone chill out.
Oh. Ooh, we'll just move right along from that. Respawning when over encumbered, another bug that I have not seen, but apparently if you died, some people who, when dying while over encumbered, would only be allowed to respawn at the vault.
I can attest to this one.
It happened to you?
Oh yeah, often, because I'm always over encumbered. I'm a heavy buff out user.
Okay.
And like when you run out and then your weight gets knocked down and then you're over encumbered and you get stuck running away from something and then you slow down because your AP is exhausted and then you die, it would be really weird because you wouldn't be able to find like another marker to fast travel to or respawn at, and then you would like search and search, and the only thing that would come up is 76. And well, I guess this is not where I wanted to go, but it's free, so whatever. But yeah, big issue.
See, I always had it spawn me like directly at the area I was at, or it would only let me like spawn right at the nearest location. I never had an issue where it would only let me spawn at 76.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do, but
Yeah.
for some reason or not, like another, it was just whenever you're over encumbered, you poof back to 76. But I'm very happy that they're fixing this.
So that'll be fixed as well here on December 4th. And last thing that they mention on here is people being stuck in their power armor, which is unfortunate.
Especially since you can't craft in power armor.
Right. Do a lot of things in your power armor. People will no longer be stuck in their power armor, so hooray for that. So pretty good one. I'm sure there'll be some other smaller bug fixes and things like that. They say they'll have the full patch notes available later this week ahead of the update on Tuesday, so hopefully we get those here in the next couple days. And then the next big one, immediately the week after on December 11th, we're going to have, say, the variety bug fixes and some notable changes and features to the game. So that is a push-to-talk setting for PC, which we talked about in the last episode. And hooray, we're getting push-to-talk.
That's going to be a nice one.
That's the only response.
Yeah, I mean...
I've taken to using Discord when teaming up with people, and then just turning on prox chat when I need to yell at level 30s running around in front of me, taking my friend's stuff. But I guess push to talk will be useful. I don't really utilize it. It doesn't apply to me.
The one thing I want to see is an ability to have both area chat and team chat on at the same time. Because I have definitely done some stuff where I've been on a team and near people who are not part of my team. So push to talk, that's wonderful. All that other stuff, but Bethesda, please give us local and team chat.
It seems like kind of an oversight to not have both at the same time. But I think the push to talk thing, if nothing else, it might make more people just willing to use the proximity chat, so which could be a good thing. I haven't run into anybody that in the last week or so at least, that I was particularly annoying or weird. If anybody says anything at all, it's just, hey, what's up? Or somebody wants to trade for something. It's pretty passive. So
I usually use the gestures.
Yeah, me too.
You're all thumbs down for me.
Ouch.
I usually wave. I'm a nice.
Yeah, I do a wave or a thumbs up. But yeah, so it's there. Push to talk will be there as a thing. People were asking for it, and it will now be there.
Yay.
21:9 resolution support. Another one that we discussed in the last episode. The ultra-wide monitor support will be there. Woo. Daniel, when you get your 5K 65-inch, whatever it is you were looking at, you will have support for the game. So,
if I can ever afford that with how poor I am after buying all the merch.
Yeah, but it's a thing, so it's there. That'll be, people were asking for it, and it's Bethesda's actually responding to, in general, that's kind of the overview of this, is stuff that people are asking for outside of bug fixes. They are actually looking at and doing, which is pretty cool, because they didn't have to do any of that. FOV settings will be there in PC on December 11th as well. I'm very happy about that one, because the default field of view setting when in first person is not great. That's one. People were asking, anybody that's PC games playing first person games, so with not having an FOV slider in this day and age is pretty weird. So they did mention they weren't going to do it previously because it causes issues with some of their animations. So I'm wondering if they just fix that within the engine, which I kind of doubt, what their workaround for that is. So we will see. The next big one, respecking your special after level 50.
Yay!
Oh, thank goodness.
After level 50, you'll be able to choose between a new perk card or moving a special point you had previously allocated. So it's not going to be an all at once, just reorganize your points and be able to move them kind of one point at a time, basically, to kind of slowly shift your build over to something else. But it's kind of how it reads to me.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed now that I'm like level 54, there's some stuff that I don't feel like I need and I want it in a different perk so I can really maximize my character build. Because now kind of really finding out how I want to refine it.
I just hit level 40 this morning, so not there yet, but I'm already starting to see, like, I really don't need those points there. So it's nice that we can move them around and we don't have to, like, buy something in the shop to do it or...
You're growing so fast.
Yeah, slowly but surely. For being completely solo, I think I'm doing pretty good.
I mean,
I
I've
would
been,
say so.
like, completely solo, so... Well, I did team up with some people the other day, but that was a whole interesting story.
I'm looking forward to the respec, mainly because I put a lot into charisma, which is good because I'm always on a team, but I'd like to kind of allocate to other areas, and I don't really need much in luck anymore since I already picked up the perfectly preserved pie.
Oh, that's all. That's the only, yeah.
Literally the only reason to have luck points.
You beat the game pretty much, so.
That's it.
In-game content is just disappointing in this Bethesda game. Perfectly preserved pie is the only end goal.
That's right.
I did it.
End game is pie. Yeah, I have a couple points in charisma, and I'm trying to remember why I originally picked it, but most recently I picked up the one that will randomly repair your armor when you're hit.
I like that. That's a good
That's
luck
fun.
perk.
Yeah, and I figured, well, this is going to be like once in a blue moon, and I started the Brotherhood of Steel quest line today, and I think it went off probably 5 or 6 times in a matter of 10 minutes at one point.
That's handy.
Yeah. The only thing that I have to say about that one is that it doesn't repair by a super large amount, so it goes off a lot, but then if you use your weapon or your armor a lot, you will still have it break.
Yeah, that's only rank 1 too, so I don't know if the third rank of it is that much of an increase, but it's kind of nice, but I can't see if I could dedicate that luck point to something else. I probably will once it comes time to respec. The next bit, this was huge, I think, too, the December 11th one, camp placement on login. We've all had it happen, I'm sure. You log in and somebody was at your campsite and there goes your blueprint, or if you hadn't blueprinted your camp, all your stuff's just there waiting for you, having to find a new place to rebuild or just hop to another server and rebuild on that exact same site. Now you will instead receive a notification that your space is occupied, and you can either go to that server and rebuild somewhere else or choose to go to a new server where the spot is vacant. That's huge. I think that should have been there from the start, but it's a really, really big thing, I think.
Yeah. What I would like to see is more places where you can place our camps, because all the really good spots, it seems, are in the same sorts of areas. So people tend to gravitate there. If they had opened up the camp system a little more, I don't think this would be as big an issue.
Okay, you mean like closer to certain, like the way it's kind of, you can't build if you're within a certain range of particular areas on the map and things like that, I mean?
Yeah, like, there's like a crashed vertibird in the Toxic Valley, and I would have loved to just build my camp up against the vertibird, but nope. Or you want to build in like right next to a toga. You can, if you're like a certain amount away, you can build it, but you move 2 centimeters to the right, and nope.
Well, that's one thing. The next fix on that, the last thing they have listed here is the bulldozer feature for camps.
Yes.
Yes.
So excited. I have this whole section of my camp that hasn't been built just because I'm waiting for this tool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too, big time. It's from everything from, why can't I place that there? I don't see an object, to having bushes and grass randomly popping through my walls. The bulldozer will allow you to remove small trees, rocks, and other obstructions, so it's easier to create and place your camp when and where you want. And you can also use the bulldozer to clear these items from the surrounding area to make your camp feel more like home.
Your camp.
Just huge quality of life again. Just so much frustration in the building. It's better than it was in Fallout 4, but it's still the weird random object collisions and all that.
Yeah, but it's still miles above 4.
No, it's still definitely, yeah. This will make it that much better, though.
I still stand by my theory that they should kind of take a page out of Hello Games with it's like when you're building something, it morphs the terrain around the pieces that you place.
That would be cool.
If Hello Games can manage it with a team of what are they at? 20, 25 people?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think Bethesda could definitely manage something like that. But something engine, something.
Yeah, the engine conversation is a It's a one for another day too.
For a whole episode just to itself.
I get a little bit too Reddity in here if that happens. So.
All in all, I'm really excited. I think definitely above all else, the camp placement and the bulldozer are the things I'm looking forward to the most.
I want to see that camp just refined and to get to the point where we're really rebuilding our home in West Virginia. Because that's what the whole game's about. It's about rebuilding. And if we can just get to the point where it feels like we can do that,
yeah,
that's going to be what really makes this game.
Someone mentioned something about really wanting to set up a hub city in the West Virginia area where people can actually just freely build and add on to other people's buildings, and people could set up like shops and whatnot. And I was like, that's a really great idea, but will it ever happen? Maybe. I would just like to see them, I guess, shrink the space that you have to be between another person's camp, because I would really like to have a neighbor. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if they, like I said, if they opened up like the places you can build your camp. So, you can have like camps that are just built within each other so that you can make these incredible cities, not cities, but, you have your hut, your neighbor has your hut, you got a little central area.
Yeah,
you can really build collaboratively. And even if they just limit it to teams, that
would be cool.
I think we'll see that on probably on private servers for sure.
Oh, yeah. I forget that might be a thing.
Yeah, if they're static servers that only certain people can get into, I could definitely see them having an option for the server admin to be able to turn it on where structures are static, and then maybe they will have some way to reduce that build radius or make it more public where everybody can just kind of work on one structure. That I could see that as being a possibility before they brought it to the main public servers.
Yeah, well, I think Bethesda also has to balance like how much resources they can put into a server and stability. Whereas once you get into private servers, if it's like we can just crank the settings, we can build our own server, and we don't care about stability. If it crashes, we'll just reboot it.
That's the funny thing, because that is the one thing I would be willing to shell out money for. I would pay to have a private server.
I think definitely when it comes out, I will be building my own server for this game.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one thing that like if they announced it tomorrow that like, hey, private servers are going to be $5 a month or $8 a month or whatever, however they decide to monetize it. I'm just throwing that out here. Well, I'd be on board.
I wouldn't like the idea of us paying Bethesda for the private servers. I would like it if we could just port the game to our own servers, kind of like you can do with games like Minecraft.
They'll monetize it. Yeah, like being able to. Yep, I know exactly what you mean, but I cannot imagine a world where they're just like, okay, here's how to host your own server. Go have fun.
I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up with Bethesda because they've always been so big in the modding community. It's been such a big focus for them for years. It'd be really weird to see them not have that function, especially when they do have this highly technical audience, especially on the PC side.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, my thought about it is if they want to do, if they do, supposedly when they do private servers, they're not going to be just for PC. And I have a feeling it's going to be kind of across the board, Xbox, PC, PS4. There's going to be some kind of a hosting model where it might just be a couple bucks a month or something like that, where you still can apply certain mods to it. I really can't see them just giving you the entirety of like the content of the game and just go have fun with it. But maybe they will. Maybe there's something in the works for that. Who knows?
I mean, if you look at like Fallout 4 with the Creation Club, we know that they can take content that you have bought online and validate that for an offline game. So I don't see any reason why we can't have the Atom Shop and the servers coexist. I don't see why we can't have these truly private servers and have Bethesda still get the atoms and everything. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, no, totally. Yeah, we'll just have to see. How they decide to do it. But looping back around, I think that those kind of camp things we're talking about, like the social things, I definitely think that's something we will see with the private servers as an option, hopefully. that is pretty much that. And then, the communication moving forward, kind of wrapping that up. We have those weekly patches to look forward to with, big or small, however they are. At least we know that's what the schedule is. So that's they're looking at it, they're working on it, they're actively taking people's comments and to some degree at least, and work them into the game. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think Bethesda's really started to get in the right headspace.
Yep. Well, I'm sure after launch there was kind of a, I don't know how all that stuff goes, but I have to imagine after launch things are extremely crazy. But we now know, so things will be getting slowly and surely better, as we knew they would. Just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue.
Exactly.
I'm not very patient, though.
That is that. So yeah, big stuff, good news, bigger stash limit, camp placement, the bulldozer, all sorts of good things there. We'll segue right off of that to a little bit of merch talk. Plenty of interesting and fun new stuff came out when the game launched and before. The cookbook, the game guide, Power Armor Edition, so many little statues, toys, all kinds of stuff. And this is something we'll probably do from time to time on the show. Just talk about what kind of merch we're looking at. Daniel likes to buy things, and I resist buying things. So
yeah, all I'm gonna say is if anybody from Bethesda is watching, I will accept free stuff as bribes. Just remember that.
Ariel, from your pictures on Discord that you are a big fan of the cookbook.
I love it so.
Some Thanksgiving cooking from it. So tell us about that. How'd that go?
I'd like to say it went off without a hitch. I made 3 different things from the cookbook. I made the Yum Yum deviled eggs. I also made Instamash. And I made, if you excuse my memory, I forgot what they're called.
The Salisbury steak?
No, I made that for dinner one night, but that was
Oh.
awesome. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I definitely would make again. I think it's the...
Blamco mac and cheese?
No, I didn't make the mac and cheese this time. That's next time.
Oh, that's
My
nice.
dad was even like, no mac and cheese. I was like, I'm sorry, I made everything for Thanksgiving except mac and cheese. But I made the hermit crab stuffed cave mushrooms.
Ah.
well. I did the mushrooms and the Yum Yum deviled eggs as appetizers, and there were none left.
Good.
And I only got one of each, and we only had 8 people there, and I made a lot.
People are liking it. That's good.
No, it's definitely good, and they're very easy to make, user friendly. I'm an avid cook. I cook a lot. I grew up cooking, so I made a couple of tweaks here and there with recipes. But I really just like the way that this cookbook is laid out. It's definitely got its Fallout flair in it. While it'll describe a dish, for instance, the Yum Yum deviled eggs. It's 10 out of 10 Vault Tech doctors agree. Yum Yum brand pure dried whole deviled egg a day keeps the atom bombs at bay. But then, it'll also have little
Like the
bits and
scribbles in
pieces
it.
from people from the wasteland. So written underneath it says the doctor's room was full of impressive pieces of paper, so it must be true.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really like all the scribbles they have in the book from the author.
It's cute. It gives it that this was actually taken out into the wasteland with them, and they wrote their notes as they went.
Yeah, so they, instead of just making a cookbook, they put a little bit of a in-world kind of
Exactly.
role play cookbook, if you will. I really don't know how to put that, but
I would actually describe it as that.
if it's a role play cookbook, it's not an inaccurate description then.
No, it's pretty good.
So yeah, your pictures looked pretty great. Maybe we'll get some of those up on our fancy blog on our website once it's working.
Definitely share that. I think the next foray that I'll be doing, I think for Christmas morning, I'm going to make Old Lady Palmer's sweet roll.
Ooh, sweet rolls are always good in any form. So.
I really want to make the Nuka-Cola recipes, but
I want to try and make the Nuka-Cola recipes, but then put yeast in them so that they actually fizz up.
you're going to put what in it?
So the original way that they made soda was you put yeast in them, so it's slightly fermented and fizzy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very appetizing.
That sounds
at all,
awful.
but
I'm going to pass.
you can report back after you've done that to let us know how it went.
Yeah. Or you can get a soda stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
and
you
waste
go.
that amount of money. No, if I was going to do anything, I'd go get like one of those big like welding CO2 tanks and hook that up. But that's a story for another day. Let's keep on
sounds
track.
like your style. Just if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna overdo it.
I'm gonna go crazy on it. Yeah.
But I think I definitely would recommend the cookbook to anyone who's a Fallout fan or anybody who likes to cook and just wants to try some new stuff and you want to introduce them to the world of Fallout. Definitely a good gift this holiday season.
Cool. And looking at Amazon here, in American dollars, it is about 27 on average. So not bad for what it is. How long is it?
Oh, it's got a lot of recipes. I'm gonna say it's
Like
189 pages. You've got so many different appetizers, entrees. You've got drinks, alcoholic and non.
Ooh.
There's also sauces, and desserts.
If you're someone that likes to cook and you're a Fallout fan, $27 well spent. Definitely.
It's definitely well spent.
And even if you don't eat meat or anything like that, they do a good job in like the book to talk about some of the substitutions you can use.
Oh, cool.
In a really lore-friendly way as well, which I really appreciate.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it's really cool how they did it. And they're trying to definitely make it friendly to all.
That's, I know, Daniel, you're vegan?
Yes.
Vegan, and I'm vegetarian, so that is good to know.
Yeah,
and I'm a carnivore.
Spread.
She just subs out vegetables for meat, so it's just meat with meat and a side of meat. But
you gotta have that steak sandwich with a side of steak in between a nice steak bun, and
exactly. But
Great.
Cookbook sounds like a winner. I know you guys both have it. I don't, but being the cook of the house, I might pick it up just to try some new stuff. I know that Blamco mac and cheese recipe looks awesome. So
yeah, I intend to give it a good old spin once I have some time, and I'm not just trying to make things in the crock pot.
Right. Speaking of Crocs, Daniel, tell us about that Power Armor edition.
Well, it doesn't go on your feet. I tried that. It snapped a little bit. No,
There's no warning not to put it on your feet.
Yes, I was very disappointed in that. 0 out of 10. No, it's, I think we've all heard the complaints about the bag.
Vinyl over canvas. Yes.
Vinyl over canvas. The voice modulator isn't great, but...
Do you have it there with you? Can you put it on really quick and give us some modulated Power Armor helmet speed?
I don't have the batteries in, so I can't.
How could you?
I can make I'll make a recording after the show. We can throw in there.
Okay,
just
I'll
in this
edit it
white
into the
space
show.
right here. Just there we go. Okay,
there we
that's
go.
good.
That's why I edited it. You're right. That does
We'll
sound
just
a little
stretch
weak.
that out
Wow.
however long we need.
Yep. But that's going to be seamless. Trust me. The end of the show is going to be perfect. No one will know the difference.
Only the highest quality in this podcast.
Yes, we are nothing if we're not professional. So the bag, we all know about the bag. How's the helmet, though? I mean, voice modulator thingy aside, I know the...
So the actual build quality on the helmet itself, I think, is pretty good. It's a good, sturdy plastic. I don't like the material they use for the visor. It does have that working light, and the voice modulator is disappointing. But ultimately, it's a display piece, maybe something to wear around if you're just feeling goofy. And
Somebody could paint it and weather it and do that kind of thing, too.
yeah, you could. It is truly like a high quality plastic. I don't remember who they went with for the Power Armor edition and like the Pip-Boy and all that, but they chose good people to make the stuff, except for the canvas bag. The glow in the dark map, I haven't tested it out yet.
I've seen some pictures and it looks glowy.
Yeah, I really like the steelbook for the game. Generally, everything but the bag is great, in my opinion.
So early on, I want to say I saw some pictures of that, and then they had some little like plastic army men that came with that.
Yes, they do. You can put little figurines down on the map, and what I'm planning to do eventually is build it into a desk where I can have the helmet here, the bag kind of hanging up here, and then like the map underneath some glass that I can kind of position things on, like a little strategic planning table.
Yeah, like a war room table. Like,
Exactly.
Gotcha. How was the? They started selling those little figurines separately on the Bethesda shop, and they might not be the exact same ones, but they've got some. Maybe it wasn't the Bethesda shop, but I saw them online, and $7 or maybe $10 for the bag. The molds looked pretty good for just being cheap little plastic toys. They looked all right. So
Yeah, they're really not bad. I actually thought they were articulated at one point because they have a really good seam there, which is a really dumb assumption of me to make, but I made it anyway.
yeah. Well, it's just a little. It seemed like something that would just be kind of a here's another thing, but turned out all right. That's pretty cool. And no actual game though, right? Just the game code.
I have not opened the steelbook because I got my my code from the email, so I have the thing nice and sealed up like a true collector, which makes me happy.
So there could be a game disc in there. You'll just never know. I have a feeling it's probably not.
I think it's a little cardboard disc with a code on it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure too. So sounds like it wasn't too bad. I know I've seen a lot of hate for it online, but I think a lot of that was just the bag was a big thing. People didn't, I saw some people talking about how the picture of the helmet and the physical helmet didn't quite make reality for them. But, to each their own, I suppose. They are, what did you say? They're offering people atoms?
Yeah, 500 atoms, I think, which is about the equivalent to $5, which is
$5.
A bit of a ripoff, in my opinion. I don't have any real complaints about the bag, except that
it's not what you were told you're going to get.
It's not what we were told we were going to get. It never changed from being canvas to sort of mylar or whatever it is. It just kind of switched. They never told us. And they never... If the $5 worth of atoms feels like a real kick in the head, is what Dean Martin would say.
Yep. You are correct. Those are his words. So, people online are saying class action lawsuit and blah, blah, blah. And Ariel made the point, you're not going to get more than $5 out of a class action lawsuit. And it's kind of a little bit of a slap response as it is for fixing their own screw up. It's probably the best you're going to get, people. So, it is what it is. But it sounds like for a collector's standpoint, the whole package is a pretty good thing, though.
Yeah, I really grabbed it for the helmet. I was really hoping for a good solid bag that I could tote around, kind of show off, oh, look at me. I wasted money on the Power Armor edition. Aren't I special? As all collectors love to do.
Sure.
So that was a little disappointing.
More gently.
But
gently tote it.
Yeah.
Or use the bag as a gym bag. That's what I've suggested to other people because it's like a nylon material, which is actually good for preventing smells from getting in.
Well, my whole thing was it feels similar to the the actual military bags that you would get, like newer but same sort of material. So
it's thicker. Is it a little bit more heavy duty than just a really cheap bag? Really cheap bag. Excuse me.
I mean, of course, the one I'm looking at is probably, older than me. So I can't really compare them one to one. But it doesn't feel like total trash. It's not like Bethesda just gave you a Walmart bag and said, we spray painted it green and wrote some letters on it.
That's a lot of bag talk, but Power Armor Edition, you're not displeased with it, so that's good to hear.
I wouldn't say I am pleased or displeased, but it's okay.
Neutral. You're neutral with it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And those aren't available anywhere, right? Anymore, they're gone, pretty much.
You could probably pick them up on eBay for $1,000, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, so cookbook, Power Armor, and then neither of you got the guide from Prima, did you?
I got the Platinum Edition, which isn't shipping until later this year, if I remember correctly.
And I'll take Ariel's silence as a big no that she does not have the guide.
I do not. I wish I did.
I'll tell you, I thought I was getting the hardcover, but I got the paperback. But I noticed this morning that the hardcover edition on Amazon is down to $20 American. The guide, it's 544 pages, it's basically a small phone book.
Oh, I love a good phone book.
For kids that don't know, there used to be, they put these books together that they just dump on your doorstep with everybody's name, address, and phone number in it. It's about that size. The paper quality in the paperback one is a little bit to be desired, to be honest. I haven't ripped it yet, but I've come close just thumbing through it. So,
is it thin because it's cheap, or is it thin because it's a lot?
I think it's thin because it's a lot. I don't. It's not like phone book paper or what I would call Bible paper. It's not like that. It's glossy paper, but it's not super thick glossy paper. And I do believe the hardcover edition has thicker paper in it, so that's a thing. And my dog is digging next to my desk. Jackson. There we go. But yeah, so I think I've used it a handful of times. I've just really looked through the tables for crafting and things. And then the nicest thing about it is the indoor maps. It has indoor maps for all the major locations.
Oh, nice. That's been my one main issue. It's no local map.
The one reason I haven't owned a physical game guide since like Final Fantasy VII. So the only reason I really wanted to get this one was that they have a digital edition. It's a code in the front of the book that is, you can search through it. So if you're looking for a specific thing, like a specific location or an item, you can search the guide and the digital one, and it just brings it right up, which is very cool. And they're supposed to be updating the content of the guide as the game updates, which is pretty awesome. But Prima Games will be completely closed as of March 2019. DK Publishing, that owns Prima, has already started shutting them down, and their last office in Indianapolis, I believe, will be the last one that remains open, and then will be completely closed in March. So what's going to happen to those online updates is yet to be seen. We can probably safely assume they just won't happen anymore, but they might sell the brand off to somebody else. Who knows?
Well, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Bethesda, just as part of their process going forward, kind of formatted everything and then just kind of dumped it on an online page. You know, not as pretty as what we'd get from an official guidebook from someone who knows what they're doing, but good enough.
Yeah, I feel like the Prima brand has been around long enough that if there was somebody interested that wanted to get it just for the brand name alone, they could buy it off a DK for probably a song, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But overall, just really quick, it's, if for $20, the hardcover and the paperback now, at least on Amazon US, are the same price. So there's no reason not to buy the hardcover if you're really looking for the book. And I do think it's worth the $20. Sure, you can find a lot of the stuff, or most of the stuff, just on a wiki or various guides that are starting to pop up online now. But there's really something nice about a professionally written, concise kind of book, the way it is. And it breaks all of the quests through the main story, the side story, and all those all the map locations with the external and internal maps, item locations, charts and charts and charts for crafting, and all sorts of stuff. So all the perks, and kind of breaks down every single perk by each special, which is kind of nice too, without having to go online. And if you do buy it, you get the digital version, so you don't have to go through a wiki or random fanboy website X. I shouldn't say that because we're going to have a random fan website pretty soon. But it's just nice the way it's put together. So 10 out of 10 would buy again. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because the paperback pages are a little bit blah. But the way for the guide itself, as far as the content is concerned, I think it's pretty great. It's a big, heavy book. You could defend yourself with it if you needed to. And having the digital version with all the online maps and stuff being easily searchable is very, very cool. So that's what I have to say about the guide. We do need to wrap things up. Ariel has important things to do. So let's finish up with some shout outs here. Ariel, anybody you want to say hi to, or any socials you want to mention?
Yeah, I'd love to say hi. Hi, Mom! No, just kidding.
No.
I know, it's so cute, right?
I'm just kidding. Not hi, Mom.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mom. No, hi, Mom. You guys can find me on everything at Ariel Has Fins. Also, I've recently opened commissions for artwork. So if anyone wants any artwork done, you guys can hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram, Ariel Has Fins. Yeah, I love drawing.
Nice. So hit her up. Ariel Has Fins on all the places. And Daniel, what do you got going on?
I'm Daniel Soncarter on all, pretty much everything. You can find me at danielsoncarter.com, at Daniel Soncarter on Instagram, Facebook, anything. Actually, I don't check my Facebook, so please don't follow me there.
Yeah, so Daniel Soncarter on all the things except Facebook. And yeah, I'm everywhere, but I don't use the things very much. So if you want to contact me, you can simply send an email to outofthevaultshow@gmail.com. Or soon stop by outofthevaultshow.com. We will have communication forums and all the things there. links to all of our socials, links to all the platforms where you can find us, and we'll have some little information pages about each of us where you can find our own individual links. So thank you once again for listening in. We will now, with the holiday Thanksgiving past us, we'll be back on our regular every other week schedule. And then as we get closer to Christmas and New Year's, we'll kind of see what happens and try to plan it accordingly around there. But until such time, thank you for tuning in, and you will hear again from us in about 2 weeks.